the biology technique class. And before we can start our lesson, I'm going to call out the class register. So if you hear your name, you just say present. Miriam. Juma Mary. Georgina. Nuru. Helen. Clement. Faith. Jacinta. Caleb Ruto. Collins. Miriam. So we do have 2 Miriam. We have Okech Miriam. And the first one was Miriam Masaba. Hasilida Makusuri. Aina. So Aina is absent, will come to see me. Enoch. The 2 students will come to see me for their punishment. So this session will be a video recorded session, and you must, it is a request, so I'll have to distribute the consent form so that you can sign that you have agreed for me to record the video, because I can upload it anywhere, and for the purposes of the public, you have to sign it. So I'm going to give you the consent form so that you can sign to show that you have accepted. I can record the video within this consent. Just sign at least your name, write your name, admission number, and sign. Very fast, let's move very fast. If you are through, you can just give me the phone. topic of handling laboratory animals. And today's session we are going to deal with common laboratory breeding methods. So we are having two learning outcomes in this session. So those are our two learning outcomes today. To identify common laboratory breeding methods and also to describe the procedure for sexing or breeding laboratory animals. So the first learning outcome, which is to identify common laboratory breeding methods, we are going to have a video recording session which has started. But for the second learning outcome, which is to describe the procedure for sexing or breeding laboratory animals, we won't have the video recording session. Are you together? So before we start today's session, let's remind ourselves on the previous session, what we learned yesterday. Let's recall on what we learned yesterday. What did you learn yesterday in the yesterday's class? Yes, Nuru? Very good. So, yesterday's session we learned about the importance of laboratory animals. And under importance, what can we recall? What are the importance? Yes, Paslida? Very good, Paslida. One importance of laboratory animals is that they are being used for education purposes. Another importance? Yes, Helen? Useful? Very good, Helen. So these laboratory animals can be used for economic purposes. And I said that example we have even the guinea pigs. You can sell the guinea pigs, after which you get the money. and that one we add to the economic purposes. Any other? Yes, first leader? Very good. And I see that even if you go to museums, you find these animals that were kept long time ago. They are still there, at least for the future reference. Having learned that, we are now moving to today's session. And today, we are going to identify the common laboratory breeding methods. So I want you to be in pairs, 2 pairs, so that you can think and tell me the common laboratory breeding methods that you can use. Just be in 2 pairs, 2, 2, 2. Think on the common laboratory breeding methods. Okay. So I believe that each and everyone has something to say because you are in pairs. At least when the 2 minds are combined together, we can have something that really. So let's now identify the common laboratory breeding methods. Yes, Miriam? Very good, Miriam. Miriam has just said that the first common laboratory breeding method is inbreeding. We are going to discuss about that. Yes? Very good. Janet has just said that we have the outbreeding method. Yes, climates. Very good, climates. Yes, Nuru. Very good, Nuru. We have also the selective breeding. Any other type of breeding which you have come across? So let's discuss about these 4 first. Is when we can move into other details. So we're going to start with the inbreeding. The inbreeding method. What do you think is inbreeding method? What is an inbreeding method? Yes? Very good, Faith. Faith has just said that inbreeding is mating between closely related breeds. Even as human beings, siku hizi ati huyu ni cousin wangu, huyu ni cousin wangu. Is it really appropriate? So mating between closely related breeds, that is called inbreeding. Yes, it is not appropriate, but in breeding laboratory animals, it is being encouraged somehow. So why do you think we do encourage inbreeding? What's the purpose of inbreeding? Yes, no? Come up again. Very good. Good has just said that the main purpose of inbreeding is to create genetically identical animals. So at least, maybe in the future, we don't have these genes of that same animal. So when we do inbreeding, we are going to create the genetically similar and identical animals which can be used for future differences. That is very good. The next one we have outbreeding. What do you think is an outbreeding method? Yes, Clement? Method of animals that are not closely related. Very good. So, you realize that in breeding, the animals were closely related. Maybe mother to son, son to the daughter, the siblings, very closely related. But in outbreeding, now the animals are not closely related. Are you clear? So that is the difference between the two, the inbreeding and the outbreeding. So why do you think we carry out outbreeding? Why do you think outbreeding is being carried out? The outbreeding? Yes, Faith?
To maintain
Very good, Faith. The main purpose of outbreeding is to maintain genetic diversity. If you have these genes which is not similar to the other person, so at least when one person, maybe one person has a certain disease, the other person is not having a disease, when you breed these two people together, you'll have the genetic diversity which is very strong. Same case to animals. The animals will have, realize that some, they are very slim, they do have the slim body, some have they are very fat and healthy. So when you bring these two animals together, you will have the genetic diversity being maintained. Another method of breeding is called the crossbreeding. Crossbreeding, what do you think is the crossbreeding? Yes, Nuru? Come up again. Very good, Nuru. Crossbreeding is mating animals. Mating animals from two different strains. And why do you think the animals can be mated from different strains? What's the importance of crossbreeding? Yes? Asmita? Very good. So if you are having one laboratory animal, one animal which is not even producing milk, then you have another one which is of high quality and produces a lot of milk. If you combine the two strains together, we can have the improvement of the productive traits. That's very good, Pasquita. We can move to the last one, the selective breeding. What do you think is the selective breeding? Yes, Pasmita? Very good. For example, you have so many rabbits in the laboratory, so many rabbits, and you realize that one rabbit is somehow sickly, is not healthy, maybe 5 of them. So from those rabbits, let's say these ones are rabbits, and out of these rabbits, we have those with the desirable traits, maybe 4 of them, and you want to do the breeding process. What are you going to do? You are going to pick the 4 rabbits with the desirable traits so that you can bring them together for the breeding purposes. That is called selective breeding. Just the word from the word selective. You select only those with the desirable traits for breeding purposes. You left one very important method, and that is by the use of assisted reproductive techniques. Long time ago, people used to suffer from barrenness. You realize that some women, they were not able to produce children, and they were really suffering the community. They are being called a lot of names. You are a witch. You did so many abnormal things. That's why you can't conceive in the family, in the community. So this enabled the researchers to sit down as a committee so that they can do a research about that issue of barrenness. And I told you that for a researcher to start using a human being as an experiment, the researchers should start with the animals. So the laboratory animals were reared so that they can come up with the procedures on how to remove this issue of barrenness in the community. And most animals that are being used, the rats and also the mice. They are being used to develop techniques to assist in the reproduction. So, how is this thing possible? How is the assisted reproductive techniques being applied? We have the first method is the artificial insemination. Again, I want you to pair up just the way you are sitting so that you can discuss this procedure of artificial insemination. Then you tell me what is it. Discuss about artificial insemination. Okay, what is artificial insemination? What have we discussed? What have we discussed about artificial insemination? Yes, Nuru? Very good, Nuru. So in artificial insemination, the semen is being collected from the male. After collections, the semen will be introduced into the female reproductive tract using the natural methods. Are you there? So that is called artificial insemination. And that marks the end of our first learning outcome. But before we conclude, I want you people to tell me what you have learned today. What have you learned today? Yes, Miriam? And one of them? Very good, Miriam. So we have learned about inbreeding methods. Any other? Yes, Esther? Very good, Esther. We have learned about crossbreeding. Any other? Yes, Collins?
Selective breeding.
Very good, Collins. We have also learned about selective breeding. Any other? Yes?
Outbreeding.
Good. Yes?
Outbreeding.
Just come up again.
Outbreeding.
Very good. You have also learned about the outbreeding. And lastly, yes, Miriam? Very good. Assisted reproductive techniques. That's very good. And you can clap for yourself for that. Finally, I have assignment for you. So you can write the assignment somewhere and then can proceed to our second learning outcome.